Hello, and welcome to another Win Daily Sports Show. My name is Michael Rasile. I'm here with my man Ghost, and we're here to flaunt, everybody. We're here to flaunt. We're here to tell you that we were right, and we're going to be here to tell you that we were right again, and then probably one more time. We're going to be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals Game 5 that's coming up, but I want to give my man Ghost the pleasure, the opportunity to stand up in front of everybody and tell him how incredibly right he was for calling Tyler Hero to go off in Game 4. So, Ghost, the floor is yours for a couple seconds.
I think for those of you that have been watching fairly consistently, I've been I guess I could call myself the conductor of the Tyler Hero hype train during this NBA bubble. There hasn't been a single Miami Heat game that we've covered where we haven't mentioned him, or at least been talking about how he's been flourishing here. And if you weren't on board before last game, you definitely are now. I'd like to say welcome aboard. We've been on board for a very long time, and we're glad to have you. But yeah, needless to say, Tyler Hero put on an absolute show, and he did not let us down whatsoever.
He didn't let us down. He made us look really, really smart there. Ghost also went 4 for 4, if I'm not mistaken, in the Thrive Fantasy props, which we'll get to later. But pleasure to have you all here. I'm sure we're going to be talking about more Tyler Hero, but please go smash that like button. Go hit that subscribe button. Come hang out with us as much as you can, because there's only so many games left in the NBA season, right? We want to see how far these conference finals will go. Then we hopefully will get 7 in the NBA finals, and then we'll bid you adieu from the NBA side. But we are here. We are Win Daily Sports, and we are here to help you make money in fantasy. We're here to make you money in daily fantasy. We're here to make you a lot of money in betting too. So I think that part is pretty important. So without further ado, let's hop right to it. We have the Miami Heat up 3-1 going into this game against the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, down 3-1. Heard an interesting statistic today. The score combined in all of these games has been 144 or 441 or something like that to exactly 441. So it is exactly the same. The score has been exactly the same through 4 games, and somehow the Heat are ahead. Obviously, there's been some nail biters. There was that OT game as well. It's been a lot of fun. So, Ghost, talk to me a little bit. We got another captain. We got another showdown slate. We got Jason Tatum looking like he didn't do so hot in the first half, really came alive in the second half. Bam Adebayo looked a little banged up, might have hurt his elbow or his wrist or something. I don't exactly know what it was. Jimmy Butler did his thing, but your boy Tyler Hero did his a little bit more, and his price now reflects it. I think we could have got him at 9,900 the other day in the captain spot. He's now all the way up to 11,700, so you got to respect that. But talk to me a little bit with this captain spot. Where are you looking to go with most?
Lather, rinse, repeat, as the saying says, right? So last game we ended up saying that look for both sides to end up running extremely tight rotations, and that's exactly what happened. Actually, a little bit tighter than I actually had imagined. Guys like Kelly O, Kendrick Nunn, we knew that he had pretty much fallen out of the rotation, but a bunch of guys picking up some DNPs on coaching decision there was a little bit surprising to me, considering that it wasn't an elimination game just yet. But I mean, hey, if these guys didn't play in that game, I see no reason to go out there and trust them today. If you are going all the way down into some punt values, there are maybe 1 or 2 guys that I can get down with. But again, the concept remains the same here, in the sense that the lowest salary that you could end up feeling at least rather comfortable with would be a guy like Duncan Robinson. But even then, with Tyler Hero doing what he did, I don't know if it's a thing to be able to quote ourselves there, but we pretty much said, you know what, if it comes at anybody, at the cost of anybody, it does come at the cost of a player like Duncan Robinson, right? So Duncan Robinson, Daniel Tice, guys like that, good enough rotation players to see a healthy amount of minutes that, you know what, you got to save some salary somewhere on the slate. So you can definitely go with one of them, if not both. But I have spoken about why both of them don't exactly entice me from a game to game. For the captain spot, Tyler Hero is probably going to be very chalky in the sense that, So even at 11,700, he pretty much carries the highest upside out of anybody in that group. I mean, if we go all the way up to, let's say, even if we include Kemba Walker in a group like that, where you know, he's sitting there at $1,500 more expensive. Goran Dragic is there at $600 more expensive. And if you go to the 2 Boston players that are a little bit lower than Tyler Hero, Hero's going to come in by far the chalkiest of the bunch that's there, right? So versus last game where, we ended up showing people how to make a lineup by jamming in a guy like Jason Tatum or Bam Adebayo at the captain spot. It'd be my pleasure to be able to assist doing that again today, because that lineup will likely be extremely underowned compared to having someone like Tyler Hero or Goran Dragic at the captain spot.
Yeah, I think that is the important part to understand now because of recency bias, of course, and everything that happened. I mean, we've been on Tyler Hero, but I think the world is now there as well, considering the dude almost dropped 40. I think the most by a rookie, right? Outside of like Magic Johnson, I think something like that in an Eastern Conference or a constant conference finals game. So it's pretty damn impressive. So we actually Anthony Vitale. Should we be fading Hero today if he's going to be that chalky?
No.
Okay,
no.
Cool. I knew the answer.
That's a very clean and quick, simple answer there for me. No, I will not be failing Tyler Hero. Just by not having him in the captain spot, you're already getting different enough as is, and just by doing that, I already feel like my lineup will be slightly behind the pack because of just how good he is. But again, we spoke about why it's a little bit risky, but what the benefits are to running a guy like that in the captain spot in game 4, and it was the absolute nuts, honestly, like that. So
I love it. So where do you want to go first? Do we want to build a lineup with Tyler Hero first, or do you want to build one with okay. Again, I knew the answer. I just wanted to ask. So again, Tyler Hero got a little more expensive. A little less than 2K spread out around 5 players. Isn't going to kill you, but it definitely is going to hinder you a little bit, considering everybody is pretty much almost priced exactly the same outside of him. Gordon Dragic went up a little bit. It looks like Gordon Hayward came down. Actually, I think he was closer to that 8K number. Now he's down to 64. Jay Crowder might have even come down a little bit. I think he was closer to that 6K number. So we're going with Tyler Hero. We're going to ride that train. I mean, you're driving it, you're conducting it, you're letting everybody on the train. You're doing whatever you can to get people on. You're roping them in, you're bringing them on. Where do you want to go next? How do you feel about, do we want to just jam Jason Tatum after seeing, him not look so great in that first half, him really showing out in that second half?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people ended up, sweating some bullets there, seeing Jason Tatum drop 0 actual points. Obviously, not 0 DraftKings points. He did pick up a couple of rebounds and assists, and I think he had a steal or a block or whatnot. But when you're paying over $10,000 for a guy like that and he has 0 actual points in the game, you do end up sweating a little bit. You see that little DraftKings snowflake beside his name, and panic starts to ensue. But again, just told the guys, it's NBA DFS, right? So anything can happen at the turn of a switch. I on the show, I ended up saying if there's anybody that I would feel confident about with touching 50 DraftKings points, it would be Jason Tatum, and he actually did end up getting there even while he dropped 0 in the entire first half, right? So Jason Tatum is definitely a lock for me. Their backs up are against the wall. You have Duke versus Kentucky in your lineup already. When you slot in him and Tyler Hero, it's a no-brainer for me.
I love it, man. I love it. So we're going Tyler Hero, of course. We're going Jason Tatum. Where do you want to go from there? Bam Adebayo, while he's been good, hasn't quite been what we saw in most of the playoffs, and maybe your numbers can back that up. Jimmy Butler is kind of a crapshoot. Dude might score 12 points and be the most important person on the court, or he'll score 20, and we'll see, Tyler Hero do his thing, making him a little bit more important. So where do you're running with 2 of these guys from the Heat side, or I'm sorry, we're running with 1-on-1. So where do you want to go with next? Do you think the Celtics take this one out, so we want to grab a couple more Celtics in our lineup? Do you think the Heat close it out? Do you think it's more defensive? Where are you thinking in terms of game script next?
So just to speak on the first point that you had brought up about Bam Adebayo, he's been a guy that's been absolutely torching them when he's diving towards the basket. Daniel Theis is simply no match for that. I can reiterate that for a whole hour-long show if we had the time, right? But
no need.
We say it consistently that Daniel Theis is no matchup for a guy like Bam Adebayo, and I expect him to continue doing that. But paying $9,800, you would need him to score a ton of and when I say score, I mean actual points, not just DraftKings points, right? So for him to be able to pay off, and not only be able to pay off for his salary, but more so to be in the optimal lineup with guys like Tyler Hero and Jason Tatum as well, you would need him to drop at least 22 to 24 actual points, probably go for a double-double, and then pick up at least 2 or 3 steals or blocks, which he pretty much does almost every game. So that I'm not so concerned about. But expecting a guy like Bam Adebayo to drop 24 to 25 actual points in a game like this, where they just want to win and move on to the finals, and you have other guys on that team that can score in bunches, and Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero's a walking bucket. I could say that for a full hour as well. And then of course you have Goran Dragic, that is a score first point guard, right? So expecting 24 to 25 plus out of Bam Adebayo definitely is realistic. He's somebody that I'll definitely get my exposure to in MME, in the sense that if I'm running multiple lineups, like we always say, at least 5 to 10 lineups would be ideal for a showdown slate. That's where you can get your exposure. But if you're going single entry or 3 max, he's likely the guy that ends up taking a seat for me. Not just because it's I'm not saying that it's a bad play at all. It's more so just that if you slot him in, I believe you have under $6,000 left per player in there, and that just ends up leaving you with some value plays that I'm simply not too comfortable with, right? So
yeah,
needless to say,
no,
go ahead.
I was going to say I think the most important part is the roster construction, right? Like we can put Tyler Hero, Jason Tatum, and Bam Adebayo in a lineup if you think those 3 are going to do great, which we do, of course, but it then makes it very difficult to try and build out the rest of that lineup because, as you said, the rotations are crazy tight. The Celtics are only going so deep. The Heat are only going so deep. As you said, there's some guys that are perfectly healthy that got DNPs just because they do not want to expand that rotation at all. And they want to let the 7, the 8 guys that they have just run it back and see what they can do. With the Heat especially, I think they're most comfortable with it. I mean, obviously the Celtics have to do whatever they can to stay alive and win the next 3 games, but with the Heat, they just want to win, right? Win, and you can rest for a couple days because the finals won't start for a couple more days. We still have to see what happens with the Lakers Nuggets series, and the Nuggets have them in their perfect spot, man. They're down 3-1. So, I mean, we can pretty much just write it off at this point, but it's definitely, it's an interesting way to look at it. And I think it is pretty important. Heat winning this thing tonight, going to the finals against the Lakers, Mizzou Reign. I hope so, man. I've been saying it this whole time. LeBron against the Heat, then the Heat show out against LeBron. That would be the funniest turn of events I think the bubble could have ever expected. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there. So we're going Hero. We're going Tatum. We have to then start to find some value because we have just a little under 7K left per player. I know there's a couple guys down here that you usually like in Duncan Robinson and Jay Crowder. How do you feel about those 2 guys? And even Gordon Hayward now is pretty cheap this slate. How do you feel about some of these guys as some of those value plays to allow you to then pop back up into that 8-9K range a little bit?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Gordon Hayward was over 7,000. I think he was into that 7,500, 7,600 range, right? So on last slate. So having a guy like that come off the bench, and you know what, he's there to score. He's there to pretty much be a 3-and-D wing, and you know what, cause some havoc for the Miami Wings that are there as well on the defensive end. I mean, it's definitely not necessarily his strong suit. His strong suit definitely is on the offensive end, but when he's out there, he's getting full minutes. Like we had said, he's back from his injury. We said that the first game that he played, he had 30 minutes, and we expect the same thing. He ended up playing exactly 30 minutes on the nose again. So I think we could confidently say that, you know what, Gordon Hayward will get some significant run there as well. He's shooting the ball a lot for a guy that's coming off the bench. Definitely somebody that has my interest. Gets into foul trouble a little bit too early for my liking, but again, when somebody gets into foul trouble, you have to look at it as from the positive side as well. I mean, obviously it sucks when your guy ends up sitting at half because he's got 3 fouls. You know, as a Raptors fan, I definitely know what that is with guys like Kyle Lowry that somebody sometimes play a little bit too aggressively on the defensive end and end up getting into some early foul trouble. But to me, if you look at it from a positive perspective, it means he's involved in the game, and you know what, he's getting involved on defense as well. And that's exactly what I want from a guy like Gordon Hayward. It means he's healthy. And he means that he's ready to go on offense as well. So having just nearly 30 DraftKings points per game since he came back in the first 2, definitely somebody that I'm going to be including in my player pool. Jay Crowder is somebody that let a lot of people down, myself included, last game. But again, we have to look at it from the positive perspective of things. And you know what, process is the thing that counts. We say that over and over again. He checks all the boxes. Did he get over 30 minutes? Absolutely. Did he play important minutes down the stretch? Absolutely. Did he open and close quarters? Yes, he did. And he got 9 field goal attempts, 7 or 8 of which were 3-point attempts, which is exactly what I was saying on the last show, where this guy's just going bombs away, right? So again, he shot an abysmal 1 for 7 from deep last time. Definitely due for some positive regression, and he's going to end up knocking down a few in a game that he wants to eliminate his former team. And you know what? Move on to the NBA Finals. I am expecting better things from Jay Crowder in a game like this. And sitting there at 5,600, he's definitely the best value play that stands out to me in that group of, let's say, Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder, Daniel Tice, and Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, and I think again, guys, it's about the process. It's about the structure. It's doing the right thing enough times over and over again is what's going to get you the right results, right? This is daily fantasy sports. DraftKings and FanDuel won't say it. I guess I might. It's pretty much just betting, right? You have to understand what the process is, what the structure is, and then that way we can do the right thing. All we have to do is get this right, like 50 to 60% of the time. I'd say about 60% of the time, and you can turn professional. Now that's why it's very difficult. It doesn't sound that hard, but that's why it is very difficult. It's understanding that process. So, hey, Jay Crowder checks all those boxes. We're going to go back to the well. His price got less, right? If he goes 4 of 7 from deep, it's a way different thing. His price goes up and we can't get him there. So let's take advantage of him when we can, because there's so many people out there that are going to be box score watchers, as Ghost was saying, that are going to say, oh, he did terrible last game. He'll probably do terrible again. No, no, no. We're gonna stick with the process. What's been winning us money, what's been winning you money out there in YouTube land, and hopefully we will continue to do that as you will as well. So, as you can see, we have 4 people in here, couple high end guys, couple value plays. We're looking at it right now, about 7,800, a little over 7,800 left. So if we do want to go with one of these higher price guys, the Kemba Walkers, the Gordon Dragics of the world, the Marcus Smart's actually pretty low priced actually. Where is your next value play? That way, again, if we start to do some quick math, we are then able to pretty much fit whoever we want here. Is that Duncan Robinson at 4,800? Even though we know if Tyler Hero goes off, it's kind of really hard for Duncan Robinson to go off too. Is it Marcus Smart? And you're going to just try and roll with a little 1-2 punch there, potentially get Dragic. Like, how are you looking at this particular lineup right now, understanding that, the next player is really going to define the last player that you can fit into?
So in my opinion, the stud that you're trying to get, whether it would be Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, or Jaylen Brown, right? Those are just the 3 highest priced guys. So and they are the 3 studs that are left here for us. It's not like you're trying to grab somebody like an AD, someone like a LeBron, a Giannis, where they have ceilings of 60, 65, 70 plus DraftKings points. So because of that, I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable going all the way down to one of these, $1,000, $2,000 values, because at that point, not only are you hoping that they actually play in the game, given that both teams are going to run even tighter rotations than they did in Game 4, but it's also that they have to provide some sort of spark to your lineup that ends up making sense going them paired with one of Bam, Jimmy Butler, or Jaylen Brown, right? So when you mentioned lineup construction there before, that's exactly the kind of example that matters most to us, right? So it's always, it's not just, can I play Bam tonight? Yeah, you can, but at what cost, right? Yeah. So because if you're playing a guy like, I don't know, Kendrick Nunn, just the first thing that popped into my mind because of that, okay, but you can't look at it as, is Bam a good play? Obviously, Bam's a great play, but is Bam and Kendrick Nunn a better pairing than, let's say, 2 guys that are in that 7,500 to 8,500 range? At that point, I would confidently say no, simply because of the ceiling that these guys have. If there is another stud that I want to pay up for here, it would be Jaylen Brown. Absolutely showed out again last game. He's getting really active on the glass. That's exactly what we had spoken about last time. You know what I said, you would need at least 6, 7, hopefully 8 rebounds from a guy like that. You hope that Daniel Theis gets into somewhat of a foul trouble, or at least looks like he's on his own island out there versus Bam trying not to stick out like a sore thumb. And that's exactly what happened. We wanted Jaylen Brown to take those long rebounds. That's exactly what happened, right? So he picked up 9 rebounds, dropped 21 in there. So he's somebody that paying 9,200 is definitely a steep price for a guy like Jaylen Brown. But again, if their backs up are against the wall, and he's the clear number 2 option behind Jason Tatum right now.
Yeah, and I think he would be the next guy. And thankfully, again, with this roster construction, you can throw Jaylen Brown in there at 9,200. And I mean, as you said, we're not playing Daniel Theis, but Duncan Robinson is an opportunity there. So if you feel that confidently about Jaylen Brown, you can then go grab Duncan Robinson. And I think if my very poor math skills come into effect here, I'm pretty confident that we'd be able to fit both of them into this type of lineup, especially with Gordon Hayward coming down in price, especially with Jay Crowder coming down in price. So again, it's something to watch. It's something to pay attention to, because I think that part is very important. So let's, before we go over to our Thrive picks, which we've been crushing, let's make another lineup here. Let's go with the most expensive player on the slate, Jason Tatum. We know he's incredible. We know what he's capable of doing. we throw Jason Tatum in there, we have 15-9. Some of these guys, I mean, you're not going to let me make a lineup with Tyler Hero. Let's be honest about that. So again, if we just flip flop those two players, as you can see now, rather than having 7,800 left per player, we have 6,500 left per player. So again, we're really going to have to go Jason Taylor, Gordon Hayward, and Jay Crowder here. And it still leaves us with about 7,100 left. So even by flip-flopping those guys, you still have the opportunity to grab someone like Duncan Robinson. And nope, I don't think we can do it. We can't quite get up to Jaylen Brown, but you can get Kemba Walker. You can get Gordon Dragic in the lineup at this point. If you want someone like Marcus Smart instead of Gordon Hayward, you think he's going to show out a little bit more tonight. Again, it makes it difficult because of the price and the construction, but it's still an opportunity. So that's what I kind of like about the Celtics Heat games a little bit. The roster construction is not as hard because we know the 14 players that are going to be playing the whole game, kind of life easy. And we really don't have to go down too deep with the Lakers and the Nuggets. Those top four guys are so expensive. We really do have to try and drive down. So we have to get deep. Marcus Smart, easy over. I like that. I might agree with you there. I think he's going to have to ball out a little bit tonight. So that is the DraftKings portion of the show. As you all know, the other thing that we love doing is we love plays. Who doesn't, right? You're just rooting for points. You're rooting for rebounds or less points and less rebounds, or someone else to get the ball, or someone to miss a shot or make a shot. It's always fun. So our partners over at Thrive Fantasy have given us the opportunity to just make money on picking overs and unders on players we like. We get to pick the ones we want. We get to pick the ones we like. And thankfully, for everybody that's been listening, Ghost has been hammering. If you just listened to the show yesterday and you put in the 4 picks that Ghost gave you, they all cashed. You would have 11.6 times your money. You give them $10. You would have immediately turned it into quick math, 116. I'm terrible at this stuff, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at it, but it's a lot of money. You times 10 your money, over times 10 your money. That is not bad. 10 times 10, that's 100. Yes, I got it. So it's like 100, 11, 110-ish, somewhere around there. You were crushing it. So we appreciate you at Ghost. And the cool thing is, if you go to thrivefantasy.com, use the promo code WinDaily, they'll give you a matching bonus up to 50. So if you put that $50 on the 4 picks that Ghost gave you yesterday, that would have been a lot more money. Quick math, like $550. So we just made you $550. And oh, by the way, use promo code WinDaily. You get 3 months free to WinDailySports.com. So you get all the Ghosts, you get all the football, you get everything that you want. WinDaily Sports, promo code, here we go. Thrive Fantasy, promo code WinDaily. So let's get at it. Let's bring up the Thrive prop plays here and we can check out what we got. So again, 4 for 4 yesterday. We had all the locks hit, all the frisky plays hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you 2 locks. You take that $50 and that matching bonus, and you're going to 3.6 times your money. So it's nice and easy. You got nothing to worry about. You take that $50, you then quickly turn it into over 150, which we really like. So Ghost, talk to me here. 1 game, nice and easy. Where are my 2 locks of the night?
They are towards the bottom of the list today.
Oh, there they are. Of course. Of course they are. Surprise. Here they are. All right. Talk to me a little bit. Who do we got?
We have Tyler Hero over 26.5 PRA, points, rebounds, and assists.
Easy.
I don't really feel the need to explain that one.
We do this.
And then we went with Kentucky. We got to go with Duke, right? For our college ball fans out there, Jason Tatum over 39.5 PRA, points, rebounds, assists. Again, I don't really feel the need to explain that one.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's been balling. Even when he scores 0 points in the first half, he then comes out. What did he score? 28, 29, 30 in the second half.
Yeah.
So again, he's gonna get his rebounds. He's gonna get some assists as well. I mean, he hits 30 again. You're looking for 10 rebounds and assists. I think. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits this number on just points because the Celtics are going to be so desperate. He's going to be taking all the shots in there, but. Dude's incredible. I love watching him play. Not a Celtics fan, but gosh darn, I am a Jason Tatum fan. So those are the 2 locks of the night. Honestly, I could have done that with my eyes closed. Whatever those numbers were, we were going to take the over, people. It doesn't matter. Where are we going with these more frisky plays?
We're going to go with Bam Adebayo over 28.5 points and rebounds.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why do you think? I mean, you gave some analysis before. Again, he's been doing pretty well. He's probably going to hit that double-double, 20 and 10. There you go. You hit that over 28.5 pretty easily there. But there is that opportunity that Tyler Hero comes out and does his thing again, and obviously that's going to take shots away. That's going to do so. How? I mean, I know it's not one of our locks. It's definitely one of our more frisky plays, but like, Do you see the game script going in that way, or do you think it's like a 15 rebound night out of Bio and the points are just kind of that second afterthought?
I think it's really the latter. He's averaging nearly 13 rebounds in the past 3 games here, and he's got the absolute advantage on the inside. I mean, we said it during our preview show when we first started covering the series, and I've just been keep reiterating it here. 28.5 for Bam Adebayo is something that, you know what, we are going to need him to get some solid points for when we're playing over on DraftKings and whatnot. But for Thrive here, the pick 28.5. I'm counting on at least 12 rebounds from Bam tonight. And whereas on DraftKings, I'm hoping for 24, 25 actual points. Once that number drops to 15 or 16 here on Thrive, definitely something that I feel more confident in.
I love that. I love that. All right, where's our fourth? Where's the friskiest pick? We usually go over with the first 3 because life's too short for live for the under, right? We're rooting for points. We're rooting for stuff to happen. Where are we going for this fourth pick?
That Daniel Tice number is really, I guess I could say enticing. But again, the fact that it's PRA, points, rebounds, and assists, makes me come off it a little bit. Duncan Robinson 10.5. Those I typically don't touch simply because he's a 3-point shooter, and you know what, he could get 12 points in the first quarter when he goes 4 for 4 from deep, and then basically sits the bench not the entire rest of the game, but the majority of it when Tyler Hero does his thing, of course. So 10.5, if you are playing those GBP style contests over at Thrive Fantasy, I'd have to check how many points that pick gets you, but definitely consider the under there if you're getting a little frisky, as we like to say, in those GPP style of tournaments. My pick right now will be thinking Jaylen Brown over 6.5 rebounds. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown over 6.5 rebounds. I'm sticking to my guns there and saying that, you know what, Daniel Tice is really outmatched. Longer rebounds for a series like this. Jason Tay has been doing his thing on the glass. Jaylen Brown's been contributing as well. And you know what, if they're going to steal this game and keep their season alive, Jaylen Brown's going to have to be active on both ends of the floor. Expect 40 plus minutes and for him to be all over the place.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If again, because the Celtics are up against the wall and they literally have to win the next 3 games, I assume Jason Tatum's going to play 42 to 45 minutes. I think Jaylen Brown, again, same thing, 42, 45 minutes. That's literally the only thing they can do to keep their season alive. So again, just with that understanding, this is not, them running 36 minutes and kind of loafing around for some of it. It's going to be a hard 42, 45. I mean, they're not quite Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet, so that they're going to have to come off the court at some point, right, Ghost? But it's not, I don't know how long they're going to be off the court for. So there you have it, everybody. We just won you like $550 and then 3 free months to win daily. So that's another 90 on top of it. So that's over $600. You just watch this live stream. We're just giving you money. It's insane. And hopefully everybody out there is paying attention. So go to thrivefantasy.com, use promo code WinDaily, matching bonus up to $50. Then take that free $50 that they give you, put it on these 4 picks or just the first 2. The first 2 are locks. It's a joke. Just double your money or triple your money right away. Call it a good day. Put it on all 4. Ghost has been crushing it. Let's take advantage of what he is and as a genius, let's say, when it comes to NBA and NBA DFS. But we covered you for DraftKings. You're going to make some money there. We covered you for Thrive. We're going to be back with you next week, and we're very excited for it. Before then, Ghost, where can everybody find you on the internet?
At DFS_Ghost over on Twitter, and of course in our Win Daily Discord channel. Make sure you guys come and join us.
Make sure to come and join us. And if you want to just come hang out in the Discord for a little bit, windailysports.com/chat, CHAT. And you get to hang out with us free for 7 days. Get to ask Ghost all the questions you want about football, about baseball, about basketball. You see him for basketball. This dude's just as good at football and just as good at baseball as he is at NBA. Just our schedules work out the best. That's why we always get, no, I kid. But it's a lot of fun to hang out, sweat with us a little bit. We got sports bets, we got picks, we got DFS plays, we got it all there. And especially with NFL week 3 coming around, make sure to go to windailysports.com/DK. We have a free roll where the top 50 members, 50, there we go, 50 members get free memberships to Win Daily Sports, and the top member gets a lifetime membership and an interview live on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio with Jason and Sia, who run that show. So free roll, just hang out, windailysports.com/DK. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. And you're going to hopefully win some money after you get that free membership, of course. So again, make sure to follow Ghost at DFS_Ghost. Come hang out in the Discord. You can find me at Michael Rasile1 on Twitter. You can find me in the Discord as well. And everybody, first, let's go Heat, but let's hope you make it a very profitable Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals.